Fellow YouTube followers, subscribers, and if you're not, please subscribe. Henning Pauli here with a very controversial kind of cutting-edge topic: Gibson versus the rest of the world. Now, everyone who knows me knows I'm not a big fan of Gibson. That has nothing to do with their legacy. It has nothing to do with their history and a lot of guitars they built, which are great Les Paul guitars and of course SGs and other guitars. But primarily we're looking at the Les Paul. It has something to do with the fact that they've been taken over by a bigger company where quality control and craftsmanship and all that doesn't matter so much anymore, like it is with a lot of big companies. And you're kind of, served a lot better if you move to a different company that does what they used to do. If you go to the 2015 lineup of Gibsons on their website, they actually have a comment section underneath each model. And I would say about 80 to 90% of the comments are horrible. Like 3,000-4,000 euro guitars where people are saying this is crap, this doesn't sound good, I played it and it's not a good guitar. Me, personally, I've been to a store with a student of mine who's a big Slash and a big Gibson fan, always wanted that Les Paul in his hands, and we played 2 Les Pauls with 3,000 euro each, and they just felt bad. They just felt wrong and horrible, and not what he was looking for. So he ended up with the PRS SE. Which I'm very much a fan of. I'm a PRS lover. So recently I've also reviewed a Harley Benton 149 euro Les Paul type guitar, and I had a conversation with a bass player from the band Campaign Like Clockwork, Paul Krömmelbein. Thank you, Paul, who sent me over his Les Paul that he recently bought and said check it out. And when I hear Les Paul affordable, like 650, 700 euro, I'm thinking that cannot be, it cannot be a good guitar, okay? If you buy a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 euro Gibson and people are saying they're crap, how good can their bargain basement cheapo guitar be? And I'm gonna start right away. I was surprised. Sound-wise, it actually is fun. It's open, it's good. So what I did is the 3 Singlecut guitars under 1,000. I've got more in a higher price range. I just recorded a couple of hopefully very similar demos for you so that you can make up your own mind. I'm going to show you the guitars and then I'm going to show you the demos and also a blues track that I recorded with each of them. Same settings, same volumes, all this. And we're just going to talk about the 3 different guitars a little bit. The pedals are used for the recording, so you know. The MP Custom FX Germanium, no, it's not the Germanium, it's the Gainiac Henning Edition, and you can tell that it's a Henning Edition because it's got my ugly mug on it. He sent that to me as a gift. How cool is that? It's got 2 different gain settings, and in the track I'm switching between it, and it's also for the solo sound going through a Strymon Deco, which is absolutely insanely killer. Some tape saturation and some tape delay. So, the guitars we're looking at, and this is also the order that all the demos are in, is a PRS SE. This is a model from, does it say that on here? No, it doesn't. About 2 years ago. As far as I can tell, maybe a 3-piece body, something like that. Obviously completely mahogany neck and body. It's got a maple top, but probably very thin, and the beautiful top is veneer. I mean, that is not a... It is maple, but it's very thin. It, you know, it looks like a big-ass maple top. But for €700, I think 650, you can't get a real maple top. Not in that grade. Now, I think it's a beautiful guitar. It's not the guitar, and this is, I think, one of the main concerns about these things, that will give you the Gibson feel and the Gibson look. If you have this guitar, as many of my students have, it will serve you really well. It's a great guitar for the price, but you don't look like you're playing a classic Gibson. It is shaped slightly differently. You know, it's got a little shape in the back, and it does not feel visually as if you're playing the big classic Les Paul. The headstock's different, everything's different. It is, out of the three we're looking at, the most open and transparent sounding. It is great for... It's actually, I have to say that SE 245, because it's got the 24.5-inch scale. It sounds the most open, and I don't want to say sterile, that's wrong, but also a little bit emptier in the mid-spectrum, which is why you can do those nice drop things and also a little bit heavier things and not oversaturate your sound, not be too penetrating in the mix. It's very hard to talk about sound. God damn it. It plays beautifully. It immediately, you feel very comfortable on it. Beautiful action. It's a great guitar under €1,000 if you're looking for a single core guitar. If you're looking for a guitar that makes you look like Slash and Jimmy Page, this is not it. It's just visually not it. But I don't give a flying rat's ass. So the next one is the Gibson LPJ. So yeah, this is their 2014 model. I couldn't find anything equivalent in the 2015 line, but maybe just, yeah, that's just probably because of me. Now what they try to do here is take off everything that's expensive and tell you, well, you know, everything slimmed down to the bare essentials to still give you a good sounding guitar. And I am impressed with how open it sounds, how it definitely has the most output of all of them. Nice mid-range. All three guitars that we're looking at here are very clearly very different in their frequency spectrum. So yeah, they're Les Paul type guitars, but use your ears. I think visually this is not a beautiful guitar. You're holding it and everything feels cheap about it. I have to say that. It is the same price as the PRS, okay? But it somehow really feels cheap. Now, if you look at that paint job, obviously it's not high gloss, but the paint is getting pulled into the grain of the wood. On the edge, you can kind of see where they glued on the top, which is, as far as I can tell, some kind of mapley, but there's obviously no grain, or, you know, grain that looks like you bought it at the hardware store. Sorry about all the bings and dings, you know, Facebook, SMSs, texts, and whatever. We have Clusen Deluxe tuners, so that's kind of neat. All I'm saying is, you're holding it, you're playing it, and it feels cheap, okay? But Gibson's trying to make you feel as if this is a cheap guitar, so that you still spend, you know, the $2,000 or $3,000 on the real one. Action is not as great as on the other two. It's fun to play, and it feels very, very when you play it. It is sound-wise, I have to admit. I forgot to say this. This is did you see the bridge? That's like not chromey. It's kind of a brushed aluminum feel. The sound is great. I mean, I have to say that it is different than the other two. but it has something raw and something very honest about it. It's also a guitar that I think you really have to be able to get the tone out of it. I mean, I kind of feel that this isn't like a beginner guitar because it is so honest. It will show every flaw. But you will hear it in a sec. Third guitar in our roundup is a Harley Benton L450 Plus, 149 euro. And visually speaking, the most Les Paul in the lineup. It looks exactly like a Les Paul should look. With the binding, with the nice figured top, whereas the PRS has more grain. Who knows? It is probably like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-piece body. I don't really care about how many pieces of body as I care about what the guitar sounds like. Clusen Gibson style tuners, vintage style tuner, not Clusen, I'm sorry. Vintage style tuner is probably no name. The guitar is $149. Everything is as a Les Paul should be. It is it comes beautifully set up for $149. This is as close to the real thing as you get. Sound-wise, it has less output than the other two. And it also sounds the most muddy, which in this case isn't a bad thing, because it's also the one that sounds the most mahogany-ish, mahogany-esque. It's the one that sounds warmest and roundest, which is when you do precise metal kind of stuff. This is not the metal guitar. When you do the riffing where you need a lot of detail, this is not the guitar, because it mashes the notes together, and in a good way. It mashes the notes together in a sense where you play power chords, 80s, 70s style. Everything becomes round and nice, and for soloing, everything is very round and very beautifully nice. So, not your metal guitar, but it's a good rock and classic rock guitar. If you want more precision, the other two are definitely better. And I think I'll leave you with those words. If you're interested in any of these, I think the SE245 and this, I have links to Thomann where you can buy these in the description below. Please use them because I get some points. I'll try to find the Gibson if you're interested in that one, but it's a 2014 model, and 2014 is yesterday or whenever. So I try to find something similar in the links below. Obviously, there's a billion other options, but I hope that this video can show you a very crass very big difference, very crass difference between three guitars that are kind of supposed to go in a similar direction. And I have to tip my hat to the people at Gibson, because sound-wise they made a nice guitar. I like playing it. It is a fun sound. I wouldn't spend the $650 on it because it feels too cheap for me. It just... Okay? I have a lot of fun with a €149 guitar, I have to admit that. If I want something more precise, I go for the PRS. Gibson sadly isn't mine. Thanks to Paul Krommelbein for parking it here. So, Campaign Like Clockwork, check them out. Amazing band, videos of them here on my channel, live in my studio. And now, check out some sounds. Bam!
Bye.